Hey, what's up everyone, TJ here. Today we're out at Copper taking a look at the Nidecker Sensor Plus, and in this video I'm going to go through all the tech you're going to find in this snowboard and share some feedback on how it's feeling out here as well. Let's get out there. All right, for reference, before we get into the tech, I'm 5'10", I weigh around 150 pounds, and I'm on the Sensor Plus 153 today. And this is Nidecker's high-end park board. It's designed to be able to hit the largest features in the park confidently. And while it is a freestyle focused board, it's still gonna have enough stability to be capable of exploring the mountain and doing more all-mountain focused riding as well. It is a true twin and it runs a full positive camber profile, so you're gonna get that more energetic, snappy, powerful feel that you'd expect out of positive camber. Although it does have a slight rocker blend right as you get to the contact points for a little bit smoother turn initiation and also to mellow things out and make sure this board isn't super catchy with that full positive camber. And on that note, it also runs Sidekick, which is the same Sidekick you'll find from Battalion. And it's basically like a very mellow, uplifted base and edge right at the contact points on both the nose and the tail. It's pretty mellow. I'll throw an overlay up right now, but what it's gonna do is make the board very catch free. So if you're flat base, those contact points aren't going to constantly be grabbing. If you're leaning into the nose or tail for butters and presses, you can do that more confidently, knowing that the board really isn't going to catch when you're doing that kind of stuff. It's also a nice safety net in the park. You're also going to find what Nidecker calls their pop carbon built into this board, which is basically several carbon stringers running the entire length of the board from the tip of the nose to the tip of the tail. It's going to give the board more energy, snap, and pop, while keeping it very lightweight. So that's always a cool additive to see built into park boards. You'll also find Nidecker's Absorbnid top layer, which is like a dampening layer built into the snowboard to help mellow out vibrations and give you a smoother ride as you're going over more variable or choppy conditions, as well as their Syntruded base, which is a higher end extruded base material. You're gonna get all the benefits of an extruded base, like less maintenance and easier, more durable at-home repairs, but it does have some carbon infused in it, so it should be a little bit faster compared to your standard extruded base. And that's gonna be it for a quick tech breakdown out here. We're gonna get these laps going out here at Copper, and we'll check back in later in the day. All right, it's been a good time out here testing out the Sensor Plus, and let's start off talking about the Flex. So for this being their highest end, most aggressive park board, it's not incredibly stiff. Definitely does come through with some good stability and some good energy, but overall I'd say the Flex is right around a mid flex, maybe a little bit on the stiffer side of medium, and has a pretty symmetrical, consistent flex throughout. So feels very comfortable riding both regular and switch as you'd expect, and definitely is gonna come through with the stability to start hitting the larger features in the park, hitting the bigger rails, the gap-on features, and progressing towards the bigger jumps as well. I'd say this is a bit more of a jump-leaning snowboard with that stiffer side of medium flex, full camber profile, and that overall slightly aggressive feel to it. And while this board isn't gonna make it super easy for you, you can still get some flex out of it for presses and flat ground tricks or presses on rails and things like that. You are gonna have to work against that positive camber profile and that stiffer side of medium flex, but definitely still possible and has a pretty good feel to it. And I think a big standout with that is the Sidekick tech you're gonna find in this board. So that beveled up base and edge right at the contact points really helps add some confidence so you can lean into that nose and tail when you are on the snow or even on a feature. And know the board's really not gonna have a chance to hang up if you keep your weight centered over that nose or tail. And I think it also adds a nice little safety net when you're working on spins off jumps. Really anytime you might potentially be sliding on the snow or spinning on the snow flat base. And one of the standouts for me on the Sensor Plus is actually the pop you're gonna find in this snowboard. I think it has some really good energy on the exit of butter tricks, getting onto features in the park, hitting jumps, ollieing rollers. Really anytime you're trying to get the board into the air, I think that positive camber profile, that flex, and those carbon stringers all work together to really help offer some noticeable boost. Pretty much any tension you're able to load up in this board, it's going to give back. It's going to have a nice springy, energetic feel to it, especially for more freestyle focused riding. Still fun, you know, for natural features and rollers and things like that outside of the park, but definitely very noticeable in the park as well. And like I mentioned earlier, this board is going to be a little bit more jump leaning with how aggressive it is and the stability it's going to offer. Definitely going to be a good choice to help progress towards those large and extra large features if that's something that you're trying to do. It's got a fast base on it, so makes it easy to get speed for those features. Has the stability to help keep you on the snow if you land a little back seat. You know, you can put that landing gear down and help bring you back onto the snow without washing out or looping out. Not so aggressive that it feels uncomfortable or twitchy on rails, but definitely is going to make you work a little bit harder for those more technical rail tricks like presses and working on spin outs type of tricks where that torsional flex comes in handy. But one bonus with rail tricks is if you want to focus on some tricks like blunt slides where you're actually weighting the board outside the bindings, it's going to be able to hang on to the rail feature and not wash out in that situation either. So it's a bit of give and take, but I think you're going to feel a little bit more comfortable hitting jumps on this one. And overall, it's just a solid all-around park board for you more experienced riders trying to get to those upper levels of progression, hitting the larger features and the bigger gaps. And I do want to talk about the carving experience with the Sensor Plus as well. A couple specs worth noting is the waist width, which is 25.2 centimeters, as well as the side cut, which is 7.4 meter radius on the 153. I'd say those are pretty average specs. It's not particularly wide or narrow, pretty average side cut as well. So it feels comfortable at a wide variety of speeds, maintains a pretty nimble edge to edge transition with that average waist width. And it does have the stability to feel comfortable at higher speeds. I think that camber and the carbon and the absorbent top layer you're gonna find in this board do help dampen out that chatter and minimize those vibrations, even as you start to get the board up to higher speeds. That wasn't something that I found particularly sketchy or getting in the way out there exploring. But I definitely would not say that it's a carving specialist. It's not a board that's gonna hold you back when you're out there exploring, but that definitely isn't the focus with the design on this one. And they do offer this board in some wide sizes as well if you have a larger boot size, or you do wanna use this board to focus on some more aggressive edge angle carves like Euro carves and things like that. You do have that option as well if you wanna size up and use this as more of an all-mountain freestyle board. I'll quickly talk about powder as well. At the end of the day, this is a true twin full camber park board, really not gonna offer much of a benefit in soft snow. If you do find yourself on this board on a deep day, you could set your stance back, but that's about the best you can do. I don't think the side kick's really gonna help too much, and probably gonna struggle a little bit if you find yourself in deep snow with this one. You're gonna get that back leg burned. Overall, I think the Sensor Plus is going to be a great choice for more intermediate to advanced riders looking for that high performance freestyle twin, something that's going to offer a good bit of stability, something that has a lot of energy to offer and good pop, and something that's going to be capable for exploring the mountain as well. It's going to have the stability to cruise through some higher impact situations, ride at higher speeds, and explore some more variable terrain as well. So it is going to be freestyle focused, but if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, check out the Sensor Plus. I'll have this board linked down in the description below if you want to read a little bit more about it. And if you've had a chance to ride this board, let us know what you think about it down in the comments. It's always great to hear from you guys. You can leave any questions for me down there as well. Drop a like if you got some value. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here. We're gonna have some more board reviews dropping here soon. Appreciate you guys watching today, and we will see you in a new one next time. Take care, everybody.